After nearly 2 decades being the most stable franchise with the most stable quarterback position in the National Football League, for the second straight season, we have questions about the New England Patriots quarterback position. That sound you hear is the rest of the league playing the world's smallest violin. That sound you hear is also Mike Debate from Locked On Patriots joining me now. And Mike, first we heard Mac Jones, the new first-round pick, was taking third-team reps. Then it was, actually, when the weather was not so great, he looked like the best quarterback out there. What's the latest with the Patriots quarterback situation?
Well, after Tuesday's practice, Max still looks to be the leader in the clubhouse in terms of quarterback performance, Peter. He's been accurate, he's been decisive, he's been stepping into his throws very well, finding his rhythm. Had a couple of hiccups at the end of Tuesday's practice, threw a couple of interceptions. One of those was to Dante Hightower, the other to Kyle Van Noy. Those two guys are no strangers to picking off passes. So if you're going to put a blemish on the record of Mac Jones, do it against guys like Hightower and Van Noy. They've got a very good pedigree and a very good track record for that, but it's still extremely early. Mac is doing well by his own admission, by Bill Belichick's own admission this week. He's still finding his rhythm. He's still learning a lot. Mac made a comment to reporters earlier this week that he's putting his learning capabilities into two buckets, things he knows and things he knows he has to learn. So it's still early on in the process. Cam Newton has looked a little bit shaky, but he's still looking like the Cam Newton of old at times when he steps into throws. He's going to be able to overcome that. And of course, Jarrett Stidham is actually performing well as well in training camp. So interesting times in New England, and they're only going to get more interesting as training camp opens in late July.
You mentioned those defenders who are no strangers to creating turnovers. The Patriots get a cadre of guys back, guys who opted out last year, guys who were hurt, like Stephon Gilmore, and this defense is going to have to carry this team, especially if they do, in fact, go ahead and start Mac Jones. How much better can this defense be in 2021 than the version of the Bill Belichick defense we saw last year, which was, frankly, un-Belichickian?
Yeah, I think that's a great term to use. Un-Belichickian is exactly what the Patriots defense was last year. Had difficulty setting the edge, had difficulty stopping the run. Bill Belichick knew that as well as anyone, and the additions that he made in the offseason, I think, are a perfect complement to the draft picks that they brought in. Guys like Christian Barmore and Ronnie Perkins, bringing a lot of energy, a lot of high motor play, and really filling roles that some of the Patriot defenders that they may have lost in free agency, like an Adam Butler, is going to be adequately filled by someone like a Christian Barmore. They've brought in some solid additions this year between Matt Judon, who has looked great in minicamp so far, Henry Anderson, who's been making big-time stops, Devon Godchow, who's going to really, I think, solidify the middle and the interior of that defensive line. It's all going to be about the front seven. The Patriots are going to be much better in that area. Mentioned Van Noy, having him back in the fold is huge. He knows the system. Dante Hightower, the play caller in that linebacking core without any question. And of course, you mentioned Stephon Gilmore. And right now, Patriots Nation is currently holding its collective breath, wondering how all of these contract negotiations with Gilmore and the Patriots are going to shake out. But ultimately, if he's back, that's going to mean that this Patriots defense is going to be much better than they were in 2020.